great job that doctors are doing. I think that speaks to the great job that doctors are doing of trying to clear up space. I asked 2 doctors separately if they thought a lockdown, shutdown, whatever you want to call it, should be on the table here in Green Bay, and they both said yes.
Hey, Cal, just quickly while I have you, Wisconsin, as we well know, is an important state come November 3rd for this presidential election. Any idea how this spike, this wave 2, whatever you want to call it in that state, could feasibly affect voters and the way in which they're going to be voting come November 3rd?
I think one would obviously think it would help the Democratic nominee, Joe Biden, certainly with the president in the hospital. But we spent the morning yesterday talking to voters, and it seemed like people were just as entrenched as they were before the president went to hospital. Democrats were telling us that they weren't surprised the president caught the virus, and Republicans, supporters of the president, were telling us, some of them, that they still don't believe coronavirus exists. So I think people are really entrenched in their politics here in Wisconsin, Yasmin.
NBC's Cal Perry in Green Bay. Thanks, Cal. So good to see you. So just one day before the president announced his positive coronavirus result, a study released by Cornell University found him to be, quote, the largest driver of COVID misinformation during the early months of the pandemic. Researchers saying nearly 38% of online misinformation related back to the president and his promotion of medically debunked miracle cures as cases surged across this country. Watch this.
Now, a drug called chloroquine, and some people would add to it hydroxychloroquine. And it's shown very encouraging, very encouraging early results.
I'm taking it, hydroxychloroquine.
When?
Right now, yeah. A couple of weeks ago, I started taking it.
I see the disinfectant where it knocks it out in a minute, 1 minute. And is there a way we can do something like that? By injection inside or almost a cleaning.
All right, joining me now to break all this down is NBC's Ben Collins. Ben, good to see you. It's pretty incredible to watch some of that footage now, considering the fact that the president has now tested positive for the coronavirus and has been treated for just that. And I was actually thinking as to whether or not the president had asked his medical care providers if they were thinking about administering him hydroxychloroquine, considering how much he touted it back then. Obviously, he has not been administered hydroxychloroquine and has been proven in many cases to not work and, in fact, be deadly. So talk us through that. How much harm, in some cases, has this president done with regards to some of these misinformation campaigns?
Tremendous harm. In fact, there are so many of President Trump's supporters today wondering why he's not taking hydroxychloroquine, and they feel betrayed. They feel like, because this was not a thing that ended in April. They brought up another doctor recently, a couple months ago, who said that she's using it as a preventative. They put that out, on the White House lawn. So they feel betrayed in this moment because they feel either, this virus isn't real, like Cal in his segment just said, or it's not that big of a deal. And to see this happening, they really can't grasp the reality. And that's what we see right now, both on the right and the left. There are people who do not believe this man has this virus, even though he's at Walter Reed. You see it all across the spectrum right now. The internet is filled with conspiracy theories right now, and it's because we're not getting straight answers from the White House.
So you put out kind of this ominous tweet that I want to read, because I need you to answer a question that you put at the end of this tweet. And you said this: 9/11 conspiracy theorists didn't pop up overnight with perfectly crafted internet-ready hearsay. Their movement was crafted by contradictory statements and guesses from a chaotic moment. If you're not clear now, the deleterious democratic consequences will arrive later. What consequences are you referring to?
If there's no shared reality with this, people will create conspiracy theories in that moment. You're already seeing them on the internet. I don't want to bring them up right now, but in the months after this, there will be supposition and guesses about what actually happened in these days. If you can't be clear in this moment, it is deeply destructive to democracy. It really is. That's how conspiracy theories start, with guesses in those moments. And then as our shared experiences go away over the next 20 years, people will fill in the gaps with lies and rumors. So you have to be clear here. Say what's actually going on. If you don't say what's actually going on, it's a huge problem, not just for your party not just for the other party. It's a huge problem for every American. We have to be clear.
So just quickly, when you say what's actually going on, Ben, who are you talking to? Because we are covering this thing, right? So should we be covering it in a different way?
No.
Than we
You
are.
guys are doing
And
it
then
right.
what about and then what about the White House? Because a lot of folks won't even necessarily believe what the White House has to say, even if they are in fact telling the truth.
Well, we're hearing stuff from doctors that is contradicted by off-the-record sources immediately thereafter from the White House. So we don't really know fully the whole picture here. I don't think it's a coverage issue. I think it's a messaging issue from the White House. We need to be able to understand what the president's condition is clearly. Like in that press conference earlier today, it was like pulling teeth trying to figure out if this man was on oxygen or not. We still don't have full answers on that because we were trying to construct a timeline when clarity was not the modus operandi there. We have to be able to deduce real answers so we can make a real timeline for history.
All right, NBC's Ben Collins, thank you so much. I also think we're getting some breaking news in which my executive producer is just telling me. It seems as if, go ahead. Okay. All right, so just so you guys know, my EP mic was telling me what was going on in my ear. So we're just getting some breaking news with regards to that debate. On Wednesday, it seems as if the Vice President Pence and Kamala Harris will be now 12 feet apart on that debate stage come Wednesday, especially amidst all that's going on. So that is happening. Change is happening by the minute, as I said. Also, we want to take a live look from Bethesda, Maryland, outside of Walter Reed National Military Medical Center, where President Trump continues to undergo treatment for COVID-19. We're keeping a very close eye on his condition, and we're going to pass along any updates as we get them. We'll be right back, everybody.